Tonight I'm going to talk about, we're on, rather, Ephesians 2, and I'm going to do the first 3 verses. Paul's been talking a lot about God, a lot about him sending his son, a lot about the love that God has for us. It's great news, isn't it? Fabulous news. But now he turns to the reader, or to the church, to us, to you and me. And we'll start in 2 verse 1 and go to 2:3. In Ephesians 2:1 it says, "And you, who were dead in trespasses and sins, wherein in times past ye walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that now works in the children of disobedience, among whom also we all had our conversation in times past, in the lusts of our flesh, fulfilling the desires of the flesh and of the mind, and were by nature the children of wrath, even as others." Now let's go from 1. And you. Now in the King James it has in faded grey because it's not in the original text. Have he quickened? Now if you go to verse 5, it says, "Even when we were dead in sins, have he quickened us together." So that's sort of equating that with verse 5, but you don't need to put it in there. So, and you who were dead, and that word dead is the word necrophilia. You've heard of that. To do with the dead, in trespasses and sins. So in the past you were dead, you were in trespasses, you were in sins, you were another creature, right? Wherein in times past you walked according, and that word walked is peripateo, and it means positioned yourself. You occupied the space. You had composure that was dead. Among whom, wherein in times past ye walked according to the course, and that word course is the word aeon. Remember, we did that word before. And it can be used for world, it can be used for ages, but at this point we're using it for course of this world, according to the prince of the power. Now it's not power, it's authority. To the prince of the authority, accord to the prince of the authority of the air, that's Satan, the spirit that now works in the children of disobedience, among whom also we all had our conversation in times past, in the lusts of our flesh, in the desperate lusts of our flesh, and that flesh is the word sarx, and it just means plates of meat, butcher's meat. So in our body, in our lumps that were dead, fulfilling the desires of the flesh and of the mind, and that word mind in the Greek is the word dianoa, and it means mind, in the imagination. In the imagination, and were by nature the children of wrath. And that meant you were open to God's anger, open to God's vengeance, God's passion as well. But it was mostly about anger and punishment. Even as others were. So in times past, we've all been there. We had to be born again. We were in the flesh. We were dead. God had to quicken us. God had to make us alive. We were born again. That's what it's saying here. Join me tomorrow in FIT, Foundations in Truth, and we'll look at verse 4 right down to verse 6. So there you go, 4 to 6 tomorrow. But we've had a good start. We've been quickened by God. We've been made new. And hello to you there, my friend, who's just said hello. I'll catch you soon, and I'll see you